Hello and welcome back to our garden. Now I've got most of the jobs that I wanted to do done. There's still a few, but we needed to do some gardening, so what I'm going to do is each week we'll do a job. Rather, like this week we're going to do and show you the raspberries, how I've tied the floricanes in, and I'm going to cut down the primocanes. Now the floricanes are the ones that flower and fruit first, and then new growth comes up from the bottom and you tie that in, and that will fruit next spring into summer. The primocanes, once they're finished cropping, we cut them right down at ground level, and then we leave them and the new canes come up and flower and fruit the same year. So we'll show you what I've done to the floricanes, and then we'll start attacking the primocanes to get them cut down and through the shredder. These are the floricanes. As you can see, I've tied them in and they'll sit there for the winter now. In the spring we'll cut these off that are folded over, and we'll cut them off, and then you'll get raspberries right down the whole of the plant. Right, if you leave them with these tops on, you just get raspberries across the top. Now these floricanes have been here for a good 5 years now, but as you can see, the original line has actually stopped sending canes up, and the canes are getting further and further away. So once they're fruited next year and the new canes are coming up and they're still a bit on the short side, I should dig them all up and move them to a new site down a little on some good soil, and then we'll get them back into a straight line. The trouble is, once they start getting a bit like these are now, they start sending shoots out beyond the frame. Now you can see this is where the cane started, right in the centre of the frame, and they're beginning to move out away from the cane. Some are here, look, you see, I had to cut those off because they're too far out. Again, here you can see where they've pushed too far out, and then I've had to tie them a long way in. Now the primocanes have still got a little bit of fruit on, but what we're finding is the cold and wet mornings, there's a lot of mildew, so we'll rather say we've done enough. They've given us a magnificent crop even through the hot weather, but now's the time we've got to cut them down and get them all nicely cleaned up for winter. The first job will be taking all the strings etc. I've put on to try and hold them up a bit, but they aren't, I'll show you when we're cutting, these aren't spreading as much as those. I don't think they are actually 3 years old where they're getting on for 5. Taking the support strings off. If you didn't have the support strings, once they get fruit on, they'll be right over here like that. So it's a good sharp pair of secateurs, go right to the bottom and cut them off like that, and then we'll stack them just here. There you go, all of them. If you see some of the old from last year still above the ground, take those off. Like these here, old ones here, look, just take them. As you can see, it's quite a job. As you can see here, look, these are started to move a little bit away from the original set, so maybe another 2 years we'll reset these as well. As you can see, it's quite hard work down there. This crazy weather we're getting this year, they might start and send 1 or 2 shoots, especially if it gets warm. They'll think it's spring again and they might start showing again, but we'll just have to cut those off. I'll go through this now and remove the crop, and I'll come back and show you it all down, and then we'll shred some. Now I took all the canes off ground level, I put them to one side ready for shredding, and I've just quickly raked some of the soil that's washed down at the sides back onto them, and that is literally it. I'm not going to feed them till spring because they won't need it through the winter because they've laid dormant now. I'm just going to put some through my trusty old shredder. It seems to keep going. As long as you keep the blades sharp, they seem to keep going, and as long as you don't put too hard a wood through, they're not so bad. Now there'll be a bit of noise for the next few minutes. I won't do a lot, but I just want to show you them chopped up ready for the compost heap. Now, sorry about the noise, but I've put quite a few through it so I can show you what's actually going to on the compost heap. They're pretty soft wood raspberries, so it goes through quite easy, but it's one of those jobs, once you start you like to put everything through. There you are, there it is, look. Well, they get an odd leaf that falls off while you're chopping, so they're no problem, but that is good and ready for compost heap, that is. I shall get about 2 of these buckets full off the raspberries that we've done. Now that'll be how you do your raspberries. We've got the blackberries to do yet as well, but we'll show those later. Now that's all we do to the primocanes this year. Floricanes are all tied up nicely. That'll be it for this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me while I got my jobs done, and many thanks for those people who were concerned. Yeah, we're both fine, and I got quite a bit of work done, but you never get it all done, as you know. We're back gardening now, so we'll see you next time. Take care everyone. Bye now.